Hi, I'm TimeShark. Welcome to my channel. This is the first video I've ever made. On this channel, I'm going to be talking about arguments made by people. I don't care if they're religious, secular, scientific, anything goes. Anything I feel like talking about, we'll talk about. Feel free to send me any videos you want me to go into. As this is my first video ever, I'm looking forward to getting any constructive criticism from people. Anything that you guys think I can improve on, I'm glad to hear any advice anyone has. Well, I suppose we should be getting on with it. Our first video that we're going to look at is one from G-Man. It is called Atheists Just Flat Out Don't Want to Believe. I know I'm kind of going after the low-hanging fruit here, but it's my first video, so I thought I'd do something easy. Oh, by the way, I am an atheist.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Preaching to the Choir Ministries.
Well, hello there, G-Man. What was with that giant knife?
And today, I want to talk about how atheists are just so dishonest here on the internet.
Yes, do tell, G-Man. Please explain to us how atheists are dishonest on the internet. I'm sure you're going to have lots of examples for us. Graphs, evidence of all kinds, whatever you can come up with, right?
You know, a lot of them don't know that there's a big difference. As a matter of fact, they probably do know. That's why they lie so much on here. But there's a big difference between a person lacking belief and then willfully saying, I will not believe no matter what you say to me. I don't want to believe it.
No, I'm fairly certain the difference is pretty obvious to anybody. The fact that most atheists will take the lack of belief in God stance instead of the I know no God could possibly exist and I don't ever want to believe it isn't really a dishonest thing, it's just their stance. I'm not sure what you're getting at here. Oh, and is there anything that you're going to use to support that claim of yours, or just going to leave it hanging out there?
Hence my experience on TST yesterday when I was trying to correct Floyd about what we actually believe concerning Judas Iscariot and how he died. I said I wasn't going to mention Fiona no more on this channel, but even Fiona doesn't even give an accurate description of what we Christians actually believe concerning the account. I made it clear that Judas hung himself. Now they were talking about a passage that was in the book of Acts versus the passage that was in the Gospels, and they were saying that it was an apparent contradiction. And I was going to be a little bit long-winded, but I was going to explain how atheists try to use the contradiction supposedly in Genesis chapter 1 and Genesis chapter 2, how there's two different creation stories. Some of them will argue that there are two Ten Commandments.
So instead of actually addressing the actual argument about Judas, you were going to bring up other inconsistencies that atheists point out? I'm confused. That doesn't make any sense at all with what you were talking about. Does this have anything to do with atheists being dishonest? All you've done so far is tell a story and then show that you changed the topic midway through a discussion about something.
And no matter how many different times you correct these people, they insist that their interpretation of what they're talking about is correct. These are the same people who have never actually read Genesis to Revelation. None of them have any real theological study or any background or any history on what they're talking about. They're just repeating what they actually read or saw on a website.
Okay, whoa. You're making a lot of assumptions about a lot of different people on here. You're going to say that every atheist hasn't read the Bible? Because that's just a flat-out lie. There's actually a lot of atheists that are like me, and they started out religious when they were younger and got fully indoctrinated and all that fun stuff, and spent all their childhood and young teenage lives reading the Bibles or whatever holy book they were doing, going through it all, and only started becoming atheist when they started asking questions. You know, questions like, why did the different parts of the Bible say different things? Why does none of this correspond to what we know in science? Things along those lines. The fun questions that you just seem to kind of blow over and that's your little story there. If you want to prove that you're right about the Bible, it's not hard to do. The Bible is very available as a resource. It's not hard to get copies. It's not hard to point to specific things and show how they all are interrelated. It doesn't take much. Although the problem is that also leaves it easy for us to point out all the discrepancies and things like that that you kind of glanced on just there. But let's see what else is coming up next.
And I know that Veckel likes to vouch for Floyd and says that this guy actually studies. And I have to disagree with Veckel and some of the other people that's vouched for this guy. Anybody can go on Google and find these arguments on there because they're all over the place. You can go on Google and find a quadrillion different arguments against Christianity from a plethora of different religions. And you can also find the answers to all of those arguments as well.
Well, you're half right. You can definitely find the arguments against them. Finding the answers that are actually answers when you look at them critically is not so easy. Also, is there a reason that you're just going to assume that this guy doesn't know what he's talking about when it comes to the Bible? You've just pointed out how easy it is to learn about the Bible, and also said that someone else vouches for him. But you're just going to assume that he doesn't know because of what, really?
Or you can actually sit down and read the Bible for yourself and get the answers for yourself.
You sure can, although it doesn't really give you much. Reading the Bible with a critical eye will give you more questions than answers. It will also show you how many inconsistencies there are and how much of it does not fit with what we know in science.
But it was just a classic example in that room of people just not wanting to hear it. They didn't want to believe. They were trying to convince us. They were trying to convince me that my interpretation was incorrect. People who have never really read and studied the Bible.
Hey, there's that same straw man again. Can you show that they don't know what they're talking about in any way, or are you just going to keep asserting it with no evidence? I can say that you've never read or studied the Bible just as easily as you can say it about me. Can you point to things in the Bible that show you to be correct and show them to be wrong? That would be the way to address it, not just to keep assuming that they don't know what they're talking about because reasons.
You know, and it's just weird because it contradicts everything that comes out of their mouth on that side of YouTube. Oh, these people don't understand science. They don't do this and they don't do that, and they want to talk to us about science. Well, if there was any truth to that, why are you talking to me about a library of books you never read yourself?
Okay, first, it's a book, not a library of books. There's lots of chapters and little stories in it, but it's just one big book. Second, someone else's ignorance about a topic, whether real or imagined by you, has no bearing on your knowledge of a topic. Saying that we're ignorant about the Bible does not mean that our arguments about science suddenly do not have any weight, unless you can show that we're also ignorant about science, and you can't even show that we're ignorant about the Bible. So I'm not really sure how you think this argument helps you at all. It's just another same straw man again.
You understand what I'm saying? So this is why a lot of us just say these people are easy to deal with, because they do so much of this. They don't take the time out to think about the stuff that's coming out of their mouth and actually examine themselves to see whether or not they're contradicting themselves in the things that they're saying.
Okay, wow. As someone who's had the misfortune of seeing G-Man debate, to hear him say that and to not realize how ironically hilarious it is just, I don't know, it's just, wow. If anyone's ever seen him, the way that he debates is to talk over people and change the topics as fast as possible. He doesn't listen to arguments against him. He just keeps going on and on and on and on. And, well, I don't know, that was just funny to me that he came out with that.
So they don't want to believe. They're fighting you so that they don't have to believe. They don't have a lack of a belief. That lack of a belief mess is just a play on words. These people don't want to believe.
Well, I guess saying it over and over again makes it true, huh, G-Man? I can't speak for other atheists because I'm not G-Man. I can't read minds. However, I know that personally I was trying to believe as hard as I could, because it would make things so much easier to believe in a God. However, the fact is that, well, the evidence is not there to support it, hence the lack of belief. Unless you can somehow show otherwise, that you're in people's heads and know what they're thinking, you're just going to have to accept it.
And you can always tell when you're saying, look, this is what I believe. This is what the Bible says. Now tell me why you like a belief in it. Don't tell me what I believe and then tell me why you have a belief in it.
Well, most people don't try to tell you what you believe and then why you have a lack of belief in it. They go with the first option, showing you why what you believe is wrong. Not telling you what you believe, just showing you why you're wrong. That's the standard technique that atheists, especially on YouTube, use. You can scream about it, you can cry about it, you can pretend it's something different, but unless you can show otherwise, your argument has no weight whatsoever. It can be dismissed with just another statement, kind of like what I'm doing here.
Lack of belief in it. Don't tell me what I believe and then tell me why you have a lack of belief in it. A lot of people might try to turn around and say, well, G-Man, you do that with evolution. No, I don't. I can actually keep my mouth shut, wait for the claim to be made, and then say, okay, where's your evidence?
You can keep your mouth shut, huh? I have never seen that. Now, as far as the other argument, I wouldn't say that you do that about evolution, but you kind of do. I would say you're doing it right here with this whole video. You're telling atheists what they think and believe, and then trying to use it as some sort of argument instead of actually addressing what they tell you they believe or think.
That's all. I mean, I can do that all day long. Some of you claim that fossils is your evidence. Okay, I didn't say anything. I let Ken Hovind do it.
Yeah, that might not be the best technique. Ken Hovind's not exactly known for honesty or presenting the facts in an accurate way.
And he says, how can a bone tell you how many children they had or whatever? You know what I mean? You can go look at the video I made about P.Z. Myers and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's not the argument that actually holds any weight. I'm sorry. We don't need to know that the bones had babies before they count as evidence that the animals were there. Yeah, I'm not even sure where that argument came from. Also, don't bother going to watch his other videos. It's just a lot more of the same.
Or any videos that I've been involved with where I've argued against a fossil record. Okay? And I've at least done my due diligence on that.
Yeah, sure you have. You just tend to misrepresent it and parrot the arguments of someone else. Hey, isn't that what you accused atheists of doing with the Bible earlier in this video?
But these atheists, they crack me up. Oh, I have a lack of a belief because I don't see any evidence. No, you don't have a lack of a belief because there is no evidence. What you have is a willful, determined mindset to not believe in a God of the Bible because you hate him.
Hey, remember when you were getting all upset about us telling you what you believe? Yeah, maybe you should actually think about that kind of thing. Oh, and you're also wrong in your assertion about what atheists think and believe. At least the majority of them.
You despise him, and you love promoting you pretty much. It's all about you and how much education you got and how great you are. You refuse to worship someone else. Unless he's another atheist and he's studying science like you are. Because after all, out of all the subjects in the world, there's only science.
We hate God the same way we hate Darth Vader and Lord Voldemort. He's a great villain character. As far as the other thing, I really don't care if you think I'm smarter than you or dumber than you. I like to do comments about this kind of stuff because I like truth. As far as science, it's not the only subject. There's lots of subjects. Science, history, math, all kinds of fun stuff like that. Even psychology if you want to get a little bit softer. Oh, I'm going to catch some flack for that, I bet.
Science is all that matters. Yep. So, just wanted to make this quick video and give you my thoughts on that. These people don't want to believe. It has nothing to do with their lack of a belief. When you got an atheist trying to teach you what the... I mean, think about this a minute. If you want to make a case against Christianity, it's probably better to have a Christian in the room, let them make the claim, and then you reject the claim, instead of having an atheist in there say, well, let me tell you what their claim is. Oh, no, you don't know what I believe, Floyd. You don't know what I believe. And even the atheist in the room was saying that I gave like the average answer to what the past, because that's what we believe. He hung himself.
Yes, you don't know what the Christians believe. They only know what you believe, atheists. That's the moral of this video. Only Christians can know what atheists believe. Atheists can't have any idea what Christians believe. I'm sorry, this is just... I'm not sure how many times he's going to hit this straw man trying to kill it.
Unbelievable. Stop with this whole you're skeptics and you question everything. No, you question religion. You don't question your sciences. You don't question common sense. You don't. There's a lot of flaws in the atheist community. I mean, this video would be like 3 hours if I talked about all of them. But I just wanted to point that out, that a lot of these goofy atheists online just don't get it. They don't understand that if you're going to claim to have a lack of a belief, you should probably show why you have a lack of belief based on our claims, not based on a straw man that you created so that you can burn it down. Just saying. Till next time, guys, this has been another edition of Preacher to the Choir Ministries. Getting on the atheist again, telling you all to read your Bible and do what it says. God bless.
I should have borrowed Bionic Dance's irony meters for this one. It's funny that his whole video is about atheists not knowing what Christians believe, and so they can't use it as an argument. And then his entire argument about atheists is telling us what we believe and then trying to use it as an argument. I don't see how we can get that far, but hey, whatever works. I guess cognitive dissonance at its finest. Anyway, thanks for joining me on my first video ever. Leave a like, leave a comment, and please, please, please leave me some constructive criticism so I can get better. These videos are a lot of fun to do, but editing's hard and I need the help. So thank you and goodbye.